All right. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, everyone, wherever you are. This is Achievers Zone, Season 2, Episode 5. And I'm happy that we're here again for the month of May as the month is rounding up to sit down with another guest of ours within the faculty of expert that we have for this season. And I'm so happy and excited that my very good friend, my sister, is here with us today. Today, I have with me Mrs. Damilola. I call her Dammy Omotosho. And today's topic is in our zone. We're talking about staying fit and healthy in 2024. Dammy, you're welcome. How are you doing?
I'm very well, Shay. Thank you for having me here.
Good. So Dammy is no stranger to us in Achievers Zone. Actually, this is our third appearance. So she's like part of the furniture, part of the production team and all. Dammy was here with us the last season. That was year 2020, and she was also with us in February this year when we're doing episode 2 with her husband, because February episode was dedicated to Valentine's Day, love, relationship, and all of that. So we had a fantastic time with her and her husband. So we want to say welcome again, Dammy. This is your third time. You've done this before with us, so we expect nothing less than excellence. And I'm sure that's what we're getting today, Dammy.
Yeah, 100%. It's
Absolutely.
always good to be here.
Okay, great. So just like you see on the slide, we're starting, right now. It's the 27th of May 2024. It's a Monday night, Nigerian time. And I want to thank them especially because she's also joining again from Australia. And I know it's about 5 a.m. there. So thank you for sacrificing and waking up early to join us to record this. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. So just a brief introduction. I mean, like we said earlier, we have a faculty of experts that we have dedicated for each month. And Dammy's month is the month of May. So Dammy, I know you as a health advocate. You're passionate about empowering people and individuals to take control of their health and well-being. So that's why we know we have come to the right person, right? You have a strong foundation in nutrition science. You promote holistic approach to wellness. And if I remember, this was a topic we did in season 1 when we're talking about the holistic approach to wellness. So it's so comforting that we have come to the right person when we're talking about health and fitness. And it's
Yes.
interesting for me as well that we will be able to add more to what we did last season, because I'm sure between then and now you've moved around, you've gained more experience. And talking about that, I know you're currently working as a compliance officer for Services Australia. You have a degree in human nutrition. So again, you are the right person to talk to. I know your passion for health and fitness because I've followed you online. I've seen the things you've posted. I know when you went through your own, health and fitness regiment and all of those things. So I've done the same thing myself, starting from last year, where I started running every day. Now I started doing stuff. I started going to the gym, just to keep myself, fit and healthy. So this is something that I know the two of us can talk about. But again, you are the expert. So is there anything you want to talk about yourself, or you want any additional introduction or information you want to give before we go dive into it?
Yeah, thank you so much, Shay, for having me here. I will just get into it straight away.
Okay,
So
that's fine.
my
Go
name
ahead.
is my name is Dammy, and I would say I have my background in communications back home in Nigeria, and I've worked with I'll say the financial institution, the media, insurance, and along the line, I relocated to Australia. And coming to Australia over time, I realized that I had sleep apnea. It's a
Okay.
word I've never heard before back home in Nigeria. And what that means is like someone snoring very loudly. It's the
Right.
severe type. And to me, snoring back home in Nigeria is a normal thing, like especially for men. It's a
Yeah.
normal thing to hear my daddy snore. My uncles, when they come around for holidays, it's just a normal thing. So it was normal to me. Even when I started snoring, I just felt, oh, it's one of those things that happens as you grow up. So it
Mm.
became really bad that people that probably have the privilege of sleeping on the bed with me overnight, not only my husband, my children. When people come for a sleepover at the house, they actually notice and let me know how terrible it
Mm.
is. And for people to start complaining that, damn it, this thing is really bad, and there's always like these stigmatization of, it's weird for a woman to be
A
snoring like
woman.
that. Yeah, it's
Mm.
acceptable if it's a man. So I went to the doctor, and yeah, it's I that was when I realized that it's actually a health issue that is really
Mm.
bad, which means that if you're snoring, if you have sleep apnea, for some time in while you're snoring, while you're sleeping, you are actually not breathing. There's a drop in
Wow.
oxygen level, and that is not
Okay.
something good, because I had to do my own research about it too. And I would say, why am I saying all this story? That is what prompted me into health.
Okay.
So health is not something, studying nutrition is not something I thought about. It was when I had the sleep apnea and I started doing a lot of research, and everything was pointing down back to my lifestyle, which was
Mm.
nutrition, being physically active. The big one was my nutrition. And the
Right.
research opened my eyes to a lot of things I didn't know before. And that was how I embraced nutrition. I started working on my diet, I started working on my physical activity, and the interests grew. And I delved into nutrition science, and I went back to uni to actually study
Mm.
nutrition science as a degree. So that was my story. That was my interest in nutrition science. Yeah.
Well, that's fantastic because again, I also have a story behind my own, resurgence to start going back to health and fitness. I've always been like, a healthy guy. My work ethic is there, but I noticed in my late 20s, early 30s, I drink fizzy drink almost every day. I eat junk food and all of those things. And recently, by the time COVID happened, I didn't have COVID. I didn't have COVID-19, but because of the fact that we're not moving around, we're not as active as we used to. There were some other things that just came up that started affecting me. That I was now like regularly visiting the hospital. To a
Yeah.
point where the doctor was like, "Okay, you know what, Mr. Lala, we need to sit down and talk about your lifestyle." And that's when everything just started coming up. That okay, you know what, for your age that you're approaching now, you need to start reducing some things, and I'm sure we're going to get there down the line. But that was a story that at the end of the day, I just said to myself, okay, you know what? I've been a lean, not a fat guy, because
Yeah.
again, people get to assume that once you are fat, then that means yes, you have health issues. But even someone that is not fat, there might be health issues that you don't know about. So again, based on my visits to the hospital and my normal checkup, so what I did was to imbibe annual checkup into my regimen. So before my birthday is in June. Before my birthday, I make sure that the month before I do an annual checkup, full
Mm.
checkup, with my health insurance and all that. So I've been doing that now for the last 4 or 5 years. And then anything that comes up, we look at it together with my doctor and say, okay, what do we do? Is it a change of lifestyle? Is it a change of your diet or something? That's how I got into it. And I also
Yeah.
realized that it actually helped me from a productivity point of view, because there was this article I read on Harvard Business Review about the triangle of productivity, and it talks
Yeah.
about your health and fitness, it talks about your mental health, and then your spiritual health as well. I was
Yes,
really shocked
100%.
even though it's an Harvard Business Review article, but they still put a place for spiritual health,
Spiritual.
where
Yeah.
okay, if it's meditation, your prayers, Bible study and things like that, and then your mental health and your physical health. So when I read that and I realized that okay, this can actually help me from a productivity point of view, and I started doing it. I started with just walking 500 steps a day. In fact, sometimes I get tired by the time I get to like 500. I turn around, I come back home. I wasn't wearing anything sporty. I'll just wear t-shirt and jeans and my sandals and I go,
Yes.
because I also need people to realize that it's not until you have all the full, outfits, looking sporty with trainers, because people want to wait until that time before they say, oh,
Mm.
they're doing something health and fitness. But you can actually start with just walking, around your house, around your
Yes.
estate, and just be
Yeah.
active. And that's what realized, that the more I did it, the more productive I was at work. You know,
Mm.
my mentality was sharp. I could remember stuff. I could do things faster, and I was getting fitter to the point that some of my colleagues are like, "Ah, Shay, what are you doing? As in, you're looking, you know." And I'm like, "Yeah, this is what I'm doing. I feel fine," and that's how I started. So it's good to have a story behind it, but I also want people to realize that you should not wait until there's some story.
Something
Health
happened.
and fitness is something that is, you need to handle, especially for those that are, within our age bracket, getting into your 40s,
Yes,
into your
yes.
50s, is important. I don't want to hog the conversation because I'm not an expert, but I just wanted to throw that out just to let you know that there's also a story behind, my own regiment as well. So thank you for sharing that. So let's
Thank
just
you.
dive into it, right? What is this all about when we talk about health and fitness?
Well, I would say health and fitness is a very, very big topic. Just as you have said, which is 100% right.
Right.
Good health is not about, um, let's say, I have this disease.
Mm,
Yeah. So it's also the absence of disease, which means
correct.
that what is happening to your physical, mental, and social well being. You don't need to have a particular disease and say, oh, because let's say because I'm slim, because I'm not fat,
Mm,
because
mm,
I don't have diabetes. But there are a whole lot of things. That's why I always talk about a holistic approach to health and fitness,
correct.
because sometimes work stress is a big issue.
Correct.
A lot of us we work so hard that we don't even remember to take breaks. A lot of people they have burnouts. Most
Mm-hmm.
people they don't get to sleep until like I'll say 10 p.m. at night, and we
Mm,
wake up super early. Like most times I wake up, sometimes I wake up 4:30 a.m. in the morning. I'm up and I've
right.
slept late. So people, when constantly there's a pattern like that over time, it starts affecting our mental health. And probably you can't focus again. You wake up very tired, you wake
Mm,
up grumpy, and there's less productivity at the end of the day. You don't
right.
you don't even want to sometimes you don't even feel like waking up to do anything because there's a
Right.
difference. Have you Shay, have you ever experienced sometimes you wake up in the morning and you feel sad? You
Mm,
just want to stay in bed. Not that you want to sleep, but you just
mm,
feel that not again, not the
yeah.
same process again. That's when you need to go back to the drawing board that okay, fine. I don't have any ailments. I'm not sick. Why
Mm,
am I like this? Why am
feeling
I
like
like
this.
yeah, why am I feeling like this? Then you need to start putting the dots together. That
Mm,
means that mentally I'm not fit, physically I'm not fit, socially
right.
I just don't want to wake up in the morning and face life, you
Mm,
know.
mm,
And that's the meaning of overall health, holistic approach. When you look at your mental health, physical health, social life, economic,
mm,
environmental, so many things. Even when it comes to finances as well,
correct.
those are
Yeah.
the things that affect us at the end of the day, that affect our health. Because sometimes you go to the doctor and you can't explain what's really happening,
Was
but
really
you just
wrong. Correct.
yeah, you just say, I don't feel 100%. I don't feel right. In most cases, when the doctor, when they do their prognosis and all that, they will realize that, oh, you don't really have any sickness per se.
Mm,
What have you been doing? Then they start asking you about your lifestyle, about your
correct.
nutrition, physical activities,
Right.
habits. What are your habits? What are you doing? They start digging further. And when you talk about fitness, fitness is all about improving your health. What
Mm,
are you doing to improve your health? What are you doing to sustain your health, like good health? Because sometimes for some reason people have ailments and we can't
mm,
help it, but are you when probably they've diagnosed that you have diabetes, are you
mm,
crying, like are you sulking, are you feeling bad? I
mm,
acknowledge those feelings. You'll definitely someone like I'll definitely feel bad about it, But
Right.
what are you doing to manage that situation so that
Right.
it doesn't blow up, so that you don't become so sick? What way of life are you embracing so that
Mm,
your way of life, your lifestyle really matters? That's when fitness comes into place here. Yeah.
mm. So again, that means, I mean, they're interwoven basically. So I like the definition you've given for health, which is from the World Health Organization. And I think when we're talking about mental health with Dr. Schmo, in episode 3, he also mentioned something like this: that look, it's about your physical, it's about your mental, it's about your social well-being, which is what I said about the pyramid of production as well. Because your
Hmm.
physical, health is there, your mental health is there, your spiritual health is there. And I like the fact that you tied it up with money as well, because again, if you're owing somebody, or you are under some financial obligation, you're not going to feel so fantastic about yourself to the point
Yeah,
that, okay, you wake up
that's
and you
true.
do stuff. It will always be on your mind that, oh, if somebody knocks your door in a very funny way, you think, oh, the debtors are here, your
Yeah,
blood pressure will just jump up and all of that. So we're
that's
talking
true.
about holistic. So I like the fact that, yes, it's not just about yourself as well, but how you interact with your community, your social
Yeah,
life, your finances. It all ties together, because at the end of the day, just like you've written here, the fitness is your active pursuit of
hmm,
maintaining and improving this state of well-being. So that means you need to get to a state where, and I like it from a spiritual perspective as well, because again, we're Christians, we're born again, we look at things from a different perspective. That
yeah,
the Bible says that in Psalm 71 verse 21, that God will increase my greatness and comfort me on every side. That is the holistic thing we're talking about. So your finances, you're okay, your family with your spouse, you're fine, your job is fine, your kids are fine, all around you. That is the holistic nature of what we're talking about. And it's not just the physical health, but the all-round holistic nature. And I
yeah,
and I appreciate that's the definition we're looking at. So the next
yeah.
thing is, okay, so yes, we understand that, but why do we need to be healthy? Why do we need to be fit?
Well, I would say we do need to be healthy and fit because
Right.
it's not a good feeling to be sick. When
Yeah.
when when you are sick, it's as if your
Yeah.
whole body is broken down. At the end of the day,
Right.
you're not productive to yourself or to your family, to your children, to your
Right.
environment, and you don't feel good about it. Being healthy, being fit, it improves the quality of life. And when I
Absolutely.
say it improves the quality of life, I would want to talk about productivity. You wake up in the morning, you wake up with that energy, the feel good
Yeah.
hormones. You are happy.
Yeah.
You just have feel good hormone that, yes,
Yeah.
I'm waking up. Hello, you said good morning with a bright smile. You see that some people, you say good morning to them and
They
their
say
good,
what is good about the morning.
yes, they will say what is good about this morning.
Right.
There's a lot of thing behind what is good about this morning. That is when
Yeah.
you need to start checking yourself. That's what is really going on, because with
Mm.
health and fitness is really important, because it's something very holistic. I would go back to the example I used about myself. When I had sleep apnea those days, it got to a stage I started losing my self-confidence
Wow.
because it was really bad. It was a big issue. When you want to go to sleep, when I'm falling asleep, I
You'll
can't
be
I
thinking
can't
of.
go yeah, I can't go to sleep peacefully because I'm
Right.
constantly thinking of, oh my God, I'll start snoring again. And
Right.
this thing was a big issue in my house because
Mm.
most people in my household, they just couldn't stand it. That
Mm.
why would you be snoring? You need to do something about it. It was a big issue. It was a big
Mm.
concern for me. And the way doctors will tell you that you do research, you check on Google, you read about it, and the results you get on Google, it just
It
dampens your
scares
soul.
you. Yeah.
It scares you. And health and fitness is really good because it increases longevity of life.
Mm.
When you eat well, you exercise well,
Mm.
just that completes that physical capability of, okay, I can do this. Sometimes you want to play with your kids. You're able to
Mm.
carry your kids. You're
Yeah.
able to roll them around. You're able to carry your wife. You're able to,
Mm.
you come back from work and you're able to talk, to smile with your family, to engage with them, to engage with your community. It's
Mm.
when you have that, it's a big privilege. I wouldn't even want to delve more into the disease aspect of it,
Mm.
because a lot of people don't actually have diseases, but the
Mm.
disease people have presently in the world now is mental health disease,
Correct.
social
Yeah.
disease,
Right.
physical, like people can't function well. A lot of people go through anxiety, depression,
Yeah.
stress. These are major triggers. These are major triggers to, that determines if you are healthy or not,
Mm.
if you are
Mm.
fit or not.
Mm.
Mentally, if you are not fit mentally, if you are not fit physically, how do you function well in the society?
Right.
How will you be productive to your life? Health and fitness, it's just something very beautiful. And I
Mm.
will delve into nutrition, the nutrition aspect of it. Because when you talk about nutrition, to me, nutrition is like medicine.
Right.
It's like taking medications. And
Yeah.
a lot of people don't realize. And let me say good nutrition, because nutrition can be me eating,
Yeah.
eating
Correct.
junks as well.
Yeah.
It's still food, it's food.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
what type of food are you eating to nourish your
Mm.
body? The
Right.
vitamins, the minerals, they are like medications, they are like medicine to our
Yeah.
body. They enhance they enhance our lifespan.
Mm.
And whatever you eat, it can actually mar or make, you know, your whole body at the end of the day.
Right.
What are you
Right.
putting in your mouth? Are you very
Mm.
active? Do you just stay in bed like every time? Oh, I don't want to go out, I don't want to
Mm.
exercise. If you
Mm.
have the opportunity to use the escalator or the stairs, what do
Mm.
you go
Which
for?
one?
Like,
Right. Yeah.
what do you go for? That's when you need to start checking your lifestyle. Because if I have the opportunity and to use the escalator or the stairs, the natural instinct of a man will want to use the escalator. But when
Escalator.
you're in charge of your health, when you think
Yeah.
about your health and fitness, your natural instincts, the way you think, will start changing as in regards to your health. And you will
Mm.
choose, normally you will choose to use the stairs. That's when you know
Yeah.
the person that is fit physically
Correct.
and mentally.
Correct.
Yeah, you'll be able to
Correct.
spot the difference.
Yeah, absolutely. And something just came to my mind because I like the fact that you mentioned it improves quality of life. And quality of life is not just about you being healthy alone, just like we're saying, is all encompassing. And I was talking to somebody this week and he was just telling me that look, if you notice, a lot of people in that age group that we're talking about, 40s, 50s, are coming up with ailments here and there. You're seeing people in that age group that are dying early and all that. And the guy now, took me back to say, look, our parents, when they were younger, they used to walk distances. They used to do stuff, they would go to the village, go and eat pounded yam, drink palm wine, do all of those stuff. But these days, everything is microwave, everything on our side is quick food, fast.
Yeah,
People, because of the kind of work we do, you're seated in one place for a long time, 8 hours, 9 hours, you don't stand up, you don't, stretch, you don't do anything. And that those are the things that are, kind of affecting us, and that the earlier we recognize that we need to catch up on our quality of life and start improving it, the better for us. Because if you look at our parents in their own time, they could do so many things. They walk distances and all. So we were just talking about health and fitness, and then we also tied it to productivity at work. Because again, if just like you said, if you wake up on the wrong side of the bed, you don't feel like going to work, but you have to go there, you are grumpy. By the time you get to work, they give you a task to do, you are grumpy about it. It starts to pile up like a domino effect where
hmm,
everything just goes wrong, and all of that. And I wasn't realizing myself that the days I wake up, I do my exercise, I'm I'm happy, my kids, I'm happy with everybody. I'm giving them high five. I'm doing chop knuckle with
Yeah.
my wife in the car. I'm blasting music. And sometimes people around me that are driving also turn and be like, well done. How you doing? Because just like they said as well, Nigerians, they say, we are the happiest people on earth. We enjoy ourselves and all of those things. All of that is tied to, the quality of life. It increases your longevity,
Yeah.
and you start to do things that keep you active. And like you said, it affects your self-confidence, because if you are feeling good about yourself, you can stand in front of people, you can do stuff, as opposed to when you're grumpy and you wake up and the whole day could just go south. Of course, you can't do
Yeah.
anything because everything is not working, you're not feeling yourself, and it affects your productivity at the end of the day. So I like the fact that, you've tied it to quality of life, because I have experienced it myself. The days I'm so tired, I mean, it's been a long time now, because I've been doing this now for over a year, close to 2 years now. Wake up early. I have a regiment of the time I sleep, of the time I wake up, because just like you mentioned, sleep is also important. I realize that if you sleep consistently, I have a set time, your body gets used to it, to the extent that you don't need an alarm. You just naturally wake up and you're full of energy already, because we need sleep. I mean, like the doctor was saying when I was talking to him in that episode, he was saying, look, he recommends, a minimum of 7 hours
Yeah.
consistently to sleep. And your body just revitalizes itself and you
Yes.
wake up
While
refreshed.
sleeping. Yeah.
But just like he said, if you sleep late, like midnight, and you're waking up at 3, 4, you've not had enough sleep. Definitely are going to be grumpy.
Yes,
So I like
and over time as well. Over time as well, it may
mm,
cause diseases at the end of the
right.
day. Yeah, if you
Yeah.
constantly do that, like every time, every now and then, yeah, it
Mm,
leads to something else. Because one thing health and fitness does as well, it increases your energy level. And
correct.
when you exercise regularly, you tend to improve your cardiovascular health, which is our
Right.
heart. And
Yes.
sincerely, a lot of people suffer high blood pressure, heart attack at a very young age. I mean, like
Mm,
in their 40s and 50s, which is
right.
really sad. And I believe that this could have been prevented even with
Mm,
simple 15 minutes consistent exercise every day. If you do 15 minutes, let me say 30 minutes exercise every day, which is consistent like that, you don't need to do 1 hour. You don't even need to
yeah.
go to gym. By just
Right.
walking for like 30 minutes or jogging around your neighborhood for like 30
Yeah.
minutes, 45 minutes consistently, you will increase your lifespan. Like
Right.
this is evidence based. You will
Mm,
even feel it. You feel
correct.
good within you. You feel that yes, and you feel strong. You feel
Yeah. Yeah.
confident, and sincerely, people notice it. Just as you said, Shay, that
Yes.
your
Yeah.
workmates were like, Shay, what's happening? You look good.
Correct.
You're
Yeah.
always feeling good.
Yeah.
That's what fitness does. You may
Mm,
not notice it on time, but people around you will start noticing. Sincerely,
yeah.
the short word is you glow from within.
Absolutely. That's the word.
You glow from within, from within.
Right.
And at the
Right.
end of the day, it also starts showing in your work.
Mm-hmm.
You have clarity of mind, you are
Mm,
more coherent when you
mm,
speak.
mm.
It's just a beautiful thing, and that's when it spans to that spiritual aspect.
Yes. Yeah.
It's more psychologically. I can't really explain it 100%, but it's
Mm.
holistic.
Yes.
It goes through the total, total human body. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And I like the point you made about being consistent, because I want our viewers to also understand that it's not about starting and going to the gym and doing 1 hour at a go. Just like you said, 15 minutes, increase it to 30,
Mm-hmm.
do something. I was telling you earlier that it's not about wearing all the outfit, being sporty, wearing your trainers and all that. When I started out, right, my target was just 500 steps a day, right? And I would just wear my t-shirt with my jeans and a sandal, and I would just walk, down. I had a path that I knew I could do 15 minutes in that direction. So once I hit 15 minutes, I turn around and do 15 minutes back. So that makes it 30. and gradually I started increasing. And then today I do 10,000 steps before 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, that's good.
And
And you
it
don't
was
feel
just,
tired.
I don't feel tired. I'm telling you, it's so refreshing. And
Yes.
it was just gradual, but it was consistent. And then what I did was every time I met that target, I'll push it further. So let's say I meet 300 steps, I'll push it to 400. If I meet the 400, I'll push it to 500. And that's what I did until I'm doing 10,000 steps now. And I have a group, right, of people that will do this together. And that's another
Mm.
point I wanted to highlight, that it's not just you doing it solo. I formed a group, and
Yeah.
we all meet on a health app, and then we post our numbers at the end of the day. So I get encouraged. So even when I'm tired, I remember that, oh, this guy is going to do his own, and he will post it tomorrow,
Yeah.
and he'll be number one. And then I stand up and I do mine, and then I post it. I realize that forming a community helps, because if you do it by yourself, you might not get that level of encouragement. So those are the
Yeah.
things I wanted to pick out from what you said. Being consistent about it. You don't start from the very top, start from the bottom, and just
Mm.
increase gradually. If it's 1,000 steps you can do, hit it. Once you are done, increase it to 1,2. Once you hit it, increase to 1,5. And I think
Yeah.
that's the way to go about it. Don't wait until you want to do 1 hour in the gym, or you do treadmill for 2 hours. No, it's the little ones that matter, and the consistency in it. Now, let's go to the nutrition part, because I actually want us to delve into the details and be practical, like we said, for that age group. I'm sorry if you're not 40, between 40 and 50, but this is good information for you to catch up, as you get older. So, what role does nutrition actually play when you talk about health and fitness?
Oh my God. I love nutrition. I love nutrition so much because to me, I would say nutrition as actually changing my diet. It
Right,
has actually improved my health like
right,
100%. If there's something
right,
like 101%, I will I will encourage everybody, all my viewers, please
right,
don't joke with your nutrition. Don't joke with what you put in your mouth. Yeah, I know that all those junk foods. I'm not saying we cannot have it. It's fine to have it once in a while, but
right.
don't be like, okay, this is what I will be having every time.
On a
And
regular
also,
basis.
yeah, also there are healthy food as well that people eat. But how are you eating those healthy food?
Mm, right,
It's something a lot of people don't really know about. And I would say between the ages 40s and 50, we need to pay attention to our nutrition, our servings. So I would first talk about what does nutrition do in the body.
right,
Nutrition is beautiful. Like I would say again, it is like taking medicine, preventative, it's a way to prevent disease. It's a way to
right,
prevent sickness in our body, even if there's a particular disease in the body. Remember when we were young, even up until now, when you have to take your medication, there are some medications you take and they would say you must take with food.
right.
It's
Yes.
compulsory. You must take with food. Take immediately after food. Take before food. Don't take on an empty
Empty
stomach.
stomach. Correct. Yeah.
There's a reason, and that reason is food in itself. It helps. It's like it does some recovery work. It
Right.
rejuvenates the body system,
Mm.
and it helps other medications, the real medication. Sorry, we don't call it drugs in Australia. It's
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah,
It's not.
absolutely. I don't
No,
do that either. And people find it strange when I say medication, because
yeah,
everybody says, "Oh, go and take your drug." I said, "No, drug is like hard
the
drugs and
thing.
things like that.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
medication." Correct.
Medication. I'm just
Yeah,
saying it for the purpose of our viewers so that they will know
absolutely.
it. Yeah, somehow in Nigeria it's the same thing, but in the
Mm.
environment I live in here, it's different thing entirely. Yeah, and I
Correct.
know that all our viewers are all over the world. That's why I'm trying to
Absolutely.
like explain both
Yeah.
meaning as it
Yeah.
relates to the environment we live in here. Yeah.
Correct.
So nutrition is really important because what you put in your body is like it can either destroy or
Mm.
improve the body.
Right.
You are in your 40s and 50s, there are some food you should reduce, or probably, if possible, you shouldn't be seen taking it every now and then.
Correct.
Your portion sizes. Let me
Right.
first talk about the food groups. There are 5 food groups that are important for the growth, optimal health of human health. So the
Right.
5 food groups are grain,
Hmm.
meats, and meat alternatives.
Right.
Alternatives. Milk and milk alternatives.
Alternatives. Right.
Fruits and veggies.
Okay.
Grains, no alternatives, standard.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Fruits, no alternative, standard.
Yeah.
Veggies, no alternatives, standard.
Right.
Meats, lean meats,
Right.
not saturated, what do they call it? Ora. All those fatty,
Fatty. Correct.
fatty part of meats, but they are the
Yeah.
yummiest. They are sweet,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I know.
So they are sweet, but they are dangerous. We don't want
Right.
to start taking that. So lean meats. When I say lean meats, if you are having beef, you make sure you cut out all the fats around it.
Mm. Right.
You can take chicken. If you want to go a step further, skinless chicken. I know
Okay.
the skin of chicken is very sweet, right?
Yes, but
That's
it's fatty too.
it's fatty. That's where those saturated unhealthy fats, that's where they are
Right.
iron. So if you really want to improve your health, I'm not saying you should not take the skin of chicken, but if you are really, really conscious about
Mm.
your health, you need to cut those parts out.
So let me
Some
quickly say something, right? This is the way my doctor told me. Rule of thumb: the lesser the number of legs, the better. So 4 legs, cow, goat, drop it to chicken, 2 legs,
people,
but drop it to no leg, fish.
no leg, fish. Yes, I was
Yes. So
going
what I
there.
do is exactly. So I go by that. So I know I have to drop down that scale, and now I eat more fish than all the other things, but it still gives
Yes,
me the same protein that I need in my body.
yes, 100%, 100%.
Correct.
And also, for the sake of people that don't take beef, maybe like the vegetarians, there are
Yeah.
alternatives they take. They can
Mm.
take tofu. They take tofu as well.
Okay.
I don't know maybe tofu is like, I don't know what it's called in Nigeria.
Mm.
There's these we are not 100% sure. We say, is it wara? Is it, there's
Oh,
another
okay.
one in
Okay.
Nigeria they call
Yeah.
best
Yeah.
air or something. So
Y-
not
Yeah. Yeah.
100% sure. But I think
Right.
students that graduated from Babcock University, they eat
Mm.
a lot of that tofu. So they know about
Okay.
it very
They know
well.
about it. Right.
Yeah. So you could have tofu. However, there are some vitamins and minerals in beef,
Mm.
which is important
Okay.
for our body. So we're
Right.
not saying that you should outrightly cut out
Stop
beef.
eating. Exactly.
Stop
Yeah.
eating. Beef is very, very high in iron. And
Mm.
as Africans, due to our skin color, we actually need iron in our body at,
Right.
at every, not even in 40s and 50s, every
As in
stage in
throughout your lifestyle. Yeah.
throughout
Yeah.
your lifespan. Let's say
Mm.
from maybe as a teenager, you need
Mm.
that. So that's when they say, okay, you can eat beef at this age. When you get to this age, you reduce it. In our
Right.
age graph, 40s to 50s, you reduce your beef. I eat more fish like she, and I
Yeah.
really love
Yeah.
it, which is good.
I love it.
Yeah. However, I don't joke with my vitamin D.
Okay.
I don't. I take that. And
Right.
what vitamin D does in the body is it repairs our tissues.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So to increase your iron level, you take vitamin D. and that helps you to like fill up, like you are not taking more of beef, but
Mm-hmm.
it's when
Yeah.
you take vitamin D, it just replenishes that
Right.
absence of that in the beef.
Yeah.
Because all these food, they have good vitamins, they are good, but too
Mm.
much of it
Too much. Exactly. Yeah.
can lead to something else at the end of the
Mm.
day. Like
Mm.
for me, I hate beef a lot. We don't have self-control. It's true.
Yeah.
Like when you see beef, like when you see free food, like free beef, you go to the party and maybe like a buffet,
Yeah.
you just you won't have control. Yeah, you just
Right.
like okay, don't let me use Nigeria. In Australia that I live in here, things like beef and chicken, when you cook in your house, you can have five. They are not, it's no big deal.
Right.
It's in Nigeria that these things are very expensive. You can only
Right.
have beef once a day. You can, the way that's the way I was trained. Sometimes
Right.
there's meat in my mommy's pot, but part of training is you can't have it.
You will not get it.
You will
Correct.
not
Yes.
get it. It's only daddy and mommy. Sometimes
Yes. Yeah.
mommy doesn't get it. They will say it is only daddy. It's for that. This
Daddy.
meat is for daddy. You have daddy's
Correct.
own pot, big size. Our own, maybe our fish, they will cut it into
Got
half.
it. Yeah.
You know, and sincerely, that was the reason I touched on finances as well. One of
Correct.
the
Yeah.
determinants of good health is also money,
Absolutely.
because the
Absolutely.
truth is that was what our parents could afford back
Yeah.
then.
Right.
That was training
Mm.
then in Nigeria.
Mm.
Is
Mm.
discipline. It's part of training. Some families could actually afford to like give their children, you eat meat in the morning, you eat fish for lunch, you have meat,
Mm.
or you have
Mm-hmm.
egg,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know. But the truth in Nigeria back then was, as at that age of ours, it's training. Like, well,
Correct.
Yoruba will say, don't use all your
All
hands
your
to,
yes, yes. Being
yeah,
content.
yeah, be content with what you have.
Correct.
However, that age then was when we needed
You
those
need
things.
you
That they
needed it. Correct.
denied us, or probably
Right.
they didn't deny us. That was what my
That was
parents
what was
could.
available to them.
that,
That
that
was what they
was
could
what was
provide.
available, and we were happy. But the
Mm.
truth is, that was when we needed those things, and we
Right.
missed that opportunity then.
Then.
So for me, let me speak for myself now. I'm able to afford those things. So I just started doing anyhow that,
Yeah.
God, they denied me this thing. I will use it. When I cook those days when I cook meat, you will have shaki, you will have mama, you will have,
Yeah.
I will dish it out for myself, I will dish it out for my husband. I didn't know that I was causing havoc.
Can you
I
imagine?
I felt I was having a good
Mm.
time, saturated chicken, beef. They were highly saturated, deep fried in
Mm.
oil. I
Yeah.
felt I was feeling good. And
Right.
I would say that I would also want to touch back on our growing up. It actually dictates how
Mm.
we embrace life as adults.
Yeah.
I'm not guilty. Like, I won't say I want to blame myself for what I did, and I'm not blaming my background. I'm not blaming my parents, but
Mm.
those are the things that actually determines our way of life, the way we
Correct.
train our children. Because
Yeah.
before I went into nutrition, I would always tell my children that this thing you guys are eating,
We didn't
in
eat it though.
we don't eat it in my house.
Mm.
Six of us in our family, we will share two eggs. I
Yeah.
still said it last night to my kids that two eggs. My daddy will put water, to plenty
Wow.
tomato,
Yeah.
onions to
Yeah.
make the egg look, you know, like no. You're supposed to
Mm.
have two eggs per day for good
Yeah.
health. Yeah,
Yeah.
2 eggs per day. You are not eating meats. If you are
Yeah.
not eating meats, eggs is a replacement. You're supposed to have
Correct.
two eggs per day. But look at them. We're having six of us having two
Mm.
eggs.
Two. Yeah. Right.
So what's missing? Now
Mm.
I'm a grown person. I started eating so much unhealthy things,
Mm.
thinking that I was feeling good with myself. But at the end of the
Yourself.
day, I caused so many health havoc, so many health
Right.
issues for
Mm.
myself. And that is when we need to moderation in everything. I
Yeah.
I have these are measuring cups. I
Right.
use them every day. Like if you
Right.
want to have breakfast, I would encourage us as adults. It's not something I like eating as well, but it's something I have adopted as good
Mm.
nutrition. Oats, we know oats very well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oats is very good. It is rich in fiber, and
Mm.
fiber is really good for our body at every age group. Fiber
Right.
is really good. Oats also is very filling. And
Yeah.
sincerely, this is 1 cup.
Mm.
I measure everything I eat. 1 cup, not uncooked, cooked. After you
Right.
cook that
Yeah.
food. That's
Yeah.
when you measure 1 cup. You can
Mm.
use milk to make it
Mm.
half cup of milk.
Yeah.
I don't take milk. I use water for
Okay.
mine. Then I put just like a dash of honey,
Mm.
maybe like honey of this size. This is like
Yeah.
half tablespoon, half
Okay.
half teaspoon, I think. Yeah, tablespoon, half tablespoon of honey. But how do we? If you want to put honey or sugar, we just go. See, it is better we measure things. If
Right.
you are eating for breakfast, you are having a cooked oats of this size with your milk. You can put some, if you can put, add some fruits on top
Mm-hmm.
of it. Sometimes I don't even use honey. I cut up maybe like half apple. I just
Yeah.
sprinkle apple on top of it. That's sweet enough for me. With
Right.
one
Right.
boiled egg, one
Okay.
boiled egg, it is fine. If
Right.
I really want to go like the way servings, the right servings, we are only
Mm.
allowed one slice of bread.
Wow. Okay.
One slice of bread. When you hit one slice of bread, you could pair that with two boiled eggs,
Okay.
then two serves of fruits per day,
Right.
five serves of vegetables in a day. I know it is not easy because I was in Nigeria last year. Things are very expensive. Even me, I
Right.
could not afford to take fruit every day because I was like, why would I buy one piece of orange 400? It was not 400 naira or
Right. Yeah.
it was just ridiculous. I could not afford it.
Yeah.
However, vegetables could be your okra, the okra
Mm.
that we eat,
Yeah.
a fork. What do you
Mm.
call that? Like spinach, the
Yeah.
greens. Yes. So
Yes.
you could make a furry roll. You could do, you
Yeah.
know. I know in Nigeria we do a lot of gardening, a lot like my mom, and I believe
Mm.
most parents those days they have something they
A
grow
small
at the
garden behind the house. Yeah.
behind the house, and sometimes they
Yeah.
don't need to go to the market. They'll just cut
Just go
something,
there.
yeah,
Yeah.
and just make quick food. You make it for
Correct.
yourself. If you're eating solid like eba, amala, this see just a
Mm-hmm.
fist
One
size
fist. Yeah.
is okay. For me, I rarely eat solid food. But if I'm eating solid food, I would even halve my fists. That is
Okay.
me. That is me because I choose to. What I would now do is I would increase my vegetable, the efforiro
Okay.
that I'm pouring it. Vegetables is really good, really, really good. You make your vegetables, you do shredded fish. You shred your
Mm-hmm.
fish inside. Once you shred fish inside, don't start adding meats and come on, shaki and everything again. No, You don't just have self-see. It's not easy. It wasn't easy at first for me when I started. But after being consistent for like 2 weeks, it
Yeah.
became a lifestyle. And
Okay.
prayer works.
Absolutely.
Every morning I tell God that God, self-control. Give me that self-control. Food. A lot of people don't have self-control when it comes to food.
Mm,
Sincerely, I used to be guilty of that too. When you see
right.
food, especially meats, chicken, things like
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
self-control. You go to a canteen in Nigeria, you see men, they can hit 6 wraps of fufu, 10 wraps of amala. No, we don't need it. Before you eat, let me teach you a trick. Before you eat, drink a glass of water.
Yeah.
Some sometimes you are not hungry.
You just
Is
need refreshment.
no, it's longer throats. True. It's not even
Right.
refreshing. Sometimes we are not hungry.
Right.
It's not longer throats. Just as you said, you just need refreshment. You just need to
Right.
drink a cup of water and feel good. If
Mm,
that longer throat is still doing you, that your water had a dash of lemon or
right.
lime, or or somewhere in Nigeria.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, just put,
Squeeze it.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, it's in the brain. That's lemon water. Oh my God, is a fizzy drink.
Wow.
Just, just, just put that placebo effect on it and just
Right.
imagine yourself. Put
Mm.
spice it up, spice it up. Put a straw inside. Make yourself look as if you are having. Put it in a nice glass cup.
Nice
Not
glass. Put some
yeah,
ice cubes.
ice cubes. Put some ice
Uh,
cubes.
eh,
To don't trick your brain and just put a book in front of you. See, everything is in the mind.
mm,
And
mm.
that's why we said health is about your mindset as well.
Correct. Correct.
What mindset do you have?
Mm,
Is what you see.
mm,
I may see, you may be seeing, how would I explain it? It is what you see. You
mm,
may be
mm,
seeing, and I may have lemon water in front of me, but I'm seeing fizzy drink.
mm,
It
mm.
is me that I know is lemon water, but
Right.
my mindset has changed towards food. See, when I
Mm.
see fizzy drink, when people are drinking Coke, a lot of adults they drink Coke. Some
Guilty.
some people can't function without drinking
Right.
Coke. See,
Yeah.
when I sit beside people that drink Coke, I feel like throwing up.
Wow.
That is how much disgust. Shay, I'm sorry to say this. That is how much disgust because I pity them.
Mm.
A bottle of Coke contains 16 teaspoons of sugar.
Oh, sugar. Yeah.
16
Yeah.
teaspoons of sugar. Hey, see, I don't want to say something negative. Let me just keep quiet. I will just
So so
encourage.
so I like how practical you've gone with those measurements and all the things you've shown us, and it's interesting because like I was saying earlier that when I was younger and I was working, I was not married at the time. The kind of work I do, I was just like, "Look, what, let me just take a bottle of Coke and move on," and it became a lifestyle where if I
Hmm.
don't drink a bottle of Coke, I can't function. You understand? If our mind was Coke in particular, if I drink something else, maybe another fizzy drink, it will not give me the same kind of joy as if it's a
Maybe there's
Coca-Cola
something
in
in
front.
that Coke that I don't understand.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. I agree with you.
There's
But gradually
something.
as I got older, right, and like I told you, in my 40s, I had to sit down with my doctor and started looking at things, and we started looking at substitutes to say, okay, you know what, instead of drinking Coke, drink water. And I like the fact that you said, you know what, squeeze lemon, put orange or whatever in it, and and you
Yeah.
mentioned that as well. So I'm now reducing my fizzy drink. I've not reduced it to zero. I still take it like once a week. right now. But before, I used to take it every single day. In fact, I don't take water most of the time. I just take, the Coke, and I'm fine. And I
Yeah.
continue, just like you said, 16 teaspoons of sugar in my system. I get that sugar rush, and I continue working. I might not eat. And that was how
Hmm.
bad I was when I was younger. But again, I've looked at the fact that as I got older, my doctor had to call me and say, look, we need to discuss about your lifestyle and change. And I want us to go deep into the substitute, because I like the fact that you've mentioned some of the things and we're being practical here. So instead of taking sugar for your tea or for anything you drink, now in my case, I substitute it with honey. So I have a bottle of honey even in the office. So when I'm taking my tea or whatever, instead of sugar, I put honey in there. When it comes to frying stuff, you mentioned eggs and all of that. My doctor told me, and that's what I've been doing. I use olive oil instead of
Yeah.
vegetable oil, and I've seen the result, because I have a scale. It's in my room right now. When I stand on it, it measures everything, so I can see my fat, I can see all those things, and I've seen them drop consistently the more I have stayed with this regimen. So we're talking about substitutes. Instead of fizzy drink water. Instead of sugar, take honey. Instead of your vegetable oil, use olive oil for your frying and all that. And I don't do
Yeah.
deep frying. I just do a small teaspoon
A
in there.
small, yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Before we used to just pour oil until
Oh,
everywhere
no.
is filled up, and then you throw everything inside that deep frying. I don't do that anymore, and I've noticed that reduction. So, are there other substitutes that you think might help people as well, apart from the ones we've mentioned? Because I like what you wrote here about making informed and balanced dietary choices is very
Yeah,
essential to achieving and sustaining a healthy lifestyle.
yeah.
So what are
I
what
would
other substitutes do you think you can give us examples?
let me say substitute for sugar could also be like I don't use honey. There's one
Mm-hmm.
thing I use called stevia or
Okay.
erythritol or something like that. It's
Okay.
a sugar alternative. It's not like all those there's one called aspartame. Not all
Okay.
of there's one like a pink or blue sugar like this. Not those ones.
Right.
Those ones are unhealthy.
Right.
But I use stevia, and I've even stopped using it. It's good, but it has this aftertaste. So what I
Aftertaste. Okay.
do now, yeah, what I do now, you could do as an alternative to sugar. Let's say you want to take something like oats, and you want to
Mm-hmm.
sweeten the oats up. You could grate apple.
Right.
If you buy apple, just grate some apple or just
Yeah.
cut big chunks, and you could, to make the flavor come out very well, you do overnight oats, which means that you don't need to cook your oats. You soak it overnight. You pour a
Mm-hmm.
bit of milk or water. You cut some apples, whatever fruits you have. You chop it up.
Mm-hmm.
You put it inside, and you put it in your fridge overnight. So
Overnight.
by
Okay.
the time you wake up in the morning to hit that, all the juice in the fruits, all the
Would have
flavors,
been. Yeah.
they're already out. And
Okay.
sincerely, it is the best, one of the best oats that we recommend for
Wow.
people if they're
Okay.
trying to manage their weight or just to manage their health. Yeah.
Okay.
Then let's see again. Then also I just want to talk about olive oil, because for me, I always think about the finance side of things. Olive oil
Right.
is really expensive.
I know.
there's a
I know.
there's a big difference between vegetable oil, canola oil, and olive oil.
Right.
It's like double the price. So I think of things that is, other things that
In the
people,
middle.
yeah, if people cannot afford that, you
Mm.
can still take things like canola oil.
Okay.
However, it is how you use it.
Yeah.
It is how you use it. Shay said something about just using a teaspoon, right, to fry your
Yes.
egg.
Teaspoon. Yes.
Yeah. The way I do it, I use spray oil.
Oh.
Spray
Okay.
like a fleet bottle.
Yes.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
put the oil in a fleet bottle. It can actually control even more than the teaspoon. You
Oh.
just
Okay.
need you
A
just need to
little.
spray a little,
Yeah.
a little. That's it. And you
Mm.
crack your egg, you put it inside.
Yeah.
try to cover the egg up.
Okay.
If you leave it like that and you fry it, the egg will be dry.
Oh, okay.
So cover the fry pan. When you cover
Mm-hmm.
it, it produces steam.
Steam. Okay.
Yeah, which cooks the egg and make it juicy. It's not going to be dry.
Mm,
That's
mm.
if you're frying it without tomatoes, onions, and
Yeah.
all that.
Right.
And
Yeah.
also, like I said, the way my parents will fry egg those days, you could fry egg without using oil at all.
Yeah. It's
You
possible. Yes,
can.
I know.
Yeah, you
Yes.
just fry with the tomato, you fry with the
Yeah.
pepper you have, and see, like I said, everything is in the mind. All those way
Yes.
of cooking that they taught us that is unhealthy. See, the way food is going now, you go online, you go on Instagram, and you see the way people make food these days, and you be like, wow, it's not all the
Mm,
nonsense one that they had
mm,
milk to a
mm.
bar, not
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
ones, because you
Yeah.
see
I
those
get you.
ones.
I get
But
you.
you can explore the way you cook your food.
Right.
You like when I cook stew for myself, not for the family, for
Mm.
myself, I don't use palm oil, any form of oil. I don't
Wow.
use,
Okay.
because we make pepper soup without putting palm oil or
Absolutely.
oil.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So why
Yeah.
can't I? Well, it's
Mm.
I would say it's not as delicious as you putting oil, putting all
Oh,
that.
the
But
yeah.
for me, I focus more on my when I'm cooking, the thing that comes first to my mind is health
Correct.
before taste. That
Correct.
is me. But of
Yeah.
course, when I'm cooking for the whole family, I have guests around. You want the food to look appealing, because when
Look
you want
correct.
to eat, we hit by sight first, because
First. Yes.
yeah, you see it, smell, before it
And then
actually
taste.
goes
Yeah.
into your mouth. Yeah, but
Mm.
when I focus, because it's my health we're talking about here, I don't want to go
Absolutely.
back to where I know my story. I
Mm.
don't
I
want to
get
go back.
you.
I don't want to be a
Yeah.
burden to myself, to my husband, to my
Mm.
children in future. That's
Right.
what you should think
Right.
about. At this
Correct.
age, 40s and 50s, we are gradually approaching retirement. Like
Yes.
our kids need us. Do you want to do you know how much some of us send to our parents for
Mm.
medications?
Mm. Yeah. True. True.
We don't want our children to experience that. Like I
Mm.
still want to be 70. I want to be able to run around with my kids.
Absolutely.
I want to
Absolutely.
still be I want to see myself still jogging at 80 years
Absolutely.
old. That
Absolutely.
is
Yeah.
what I want. Gone are those days that our parents are you're like this. No, you know,
Correct. Correct.
we
Correct.
still, we still want to be fit. Also,
Mm.
there are milk alternatives. If you're somebody like me, I don't take milk, but a lot of people
Okay.
take milk. There are alternatives to that. You could use soy milk, you could use
Right.
almond milk
Okay.
instead. And I remember when I was in Nigeria late last year, we went to a woman's house, and everything she makes herself. She has a big farm, and
Mm.
she makes everything herself. She made soy milk. It was
Right.
so good. And I
Mm.
remember even our parents too, there were a lot of natural things they make.
Correct.
So, they
Correct.
made those days for us as kids, which
Mm.
were really, they were full of good nutrients, full of good
Right.
vitamins, full of good
Mm.
minerals as well. Even though a lot of them were not even educated, but was
Yeah.
just, yeah, those days there was no
Mm-hmm.
junk food. Everything was
No
organic.
fast food like that. Correct. Yes.
No fast
Yeah.
food. A lot of
Yeah.
parents, my dad had a farm. We go to the
Yeah.
farm. We fresh,
Yeah.
fresh.
Correct.
People
Correct.
make things like gari themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They make
Mm-hmm.
the amala, the process, the lafu,
Yeah.
everything. There were things I saw my parents they did, and I would say those food are highly nutritious. It's not like these
Mm.
days that You want to buy poundo yam, you want to buy amala. We go and buy already made, packed,
Processed. Yeah.
processed. We don't
Yeah.
see, we don't know how those things are made. So that
Correct.
is when
Correct.
portion controls comes in. Even if you are eating all those processed things, even though they are
Yeah. But
healthy,
portion.
just portion control is very important. Drink
Mm.
more of the soup.
Correct. Correct.
In this environment I live, carbohydrates is a side dish, not the main dish.
It's the other way around.
It's the other way around in Nigeria.
Correct.
It
Correct.
is the side dish. So it's
Mm.
always very little, very
Right.
little. Yeah. If you are eating meat, two small sizes okay, or
Yeah.
one big, not really big, depending on how you cut your meat. I don't know.
Yeah,
Fish.
but just like you said, Dami, it's a mindset thing as well. So there is a need to kind of adapt, and that's why we're highlighting this. And I like the practicality where we've gone down, to mention things and be practical about it. Because again, a lot of people are just like, you're just saying health and fitness. I don't even understand, but we've been able to kind of unmask a lot of things and tell you, look, this is the way it is. Because if you want to stay healthy, if you want to stay productive, if you want a longer and a high quality life, you need to adjust some of those things. And the thing
Yeah.
is, it's good that we're talking about it now, because you don't want to start getting to your 60s and 70s when it's too late. And then there's one underlying issue, health issue, and you're disturbing your children, and your grandchildren are like, granddad has this and all that. Just like you said, the vision is to still play ball with my grandkids, jog
Yeah.
around, play tennis with people, and do all of those things. And that's the way, I want us to drive into it and go into this, almost the end of it, because I'm checking now and we've done, over an hour, and it's fantastic. But let's look at, how do we achieve this actually, in terms of practicality. How do we go about this?
Yeah, I would say, yeah. Or in the slide there, we have a balanced nutrition, which we have talked
Correct.
about, including all the five food groups
Yeah.
moderately in your
Yeah.
diets, because
Right.
those are the things that actually nourish our body. It prevents disease at the end of the
Mm,
day. Then
mm,
regular physical activity, we've talked about it. It's not
absolutely.
easy, but the truth is we have to be physically active. It
Active.
is
Correct.
very important. See, if you are physically active, you don't know that you wouldn't know the things that could have gone wrong, but
Right.
because of exercise you've been doing consistently, it has
Consistently.
altered, yeah, it has stopped whatever
Mm,
medical issues that could have
mm,
happened. It has stopped
mm,
it. There was a time, I changed jobs, and the job I was doing before was physical. I was always standing up, moving
mm,
around.
mm,
And
mm,
I got a job that I had to sit in front of the computer and just sit down for hours. And,
mm.
you know, I used the train to work. So I had to climb the stairs. I love climbing the stairs. And I
Yeah.
realized that because I changed jobs, I could not exercise that much again. I was new at the job. I was trying to learn the process of the new
Learn.
job,
Okay.
all that.
Right.
All my plans changed. And I
Mm,
realized that every morning I climb the stairs. By the time I'm halfway, mind you, this stairs maybe is like 20 steps. It's not much.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
By the time I'm halfway,
You're
I'm already,
panting.
yes, this heart palpitation, I'm panting,
Right.
and I'm
Yeah.
not only panting, I'm short of breath.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I noticed that pattern and I went to my doctor. He did ECG and all that. Everything
ECG.
was,
Yeah.
yeah. He
Right.
said everything is perfect with your heart. Have you been exercising? I said, oh, I used to, but I've stopped because of blah blah blah. But I was trying to be defensive that, but my
Mm,
nutrition is 100%. I'm good with
right.
that. Blah blah blah. The doctor said, Madam, no, it doesn't work that way. You've always been exercising. You've created a routine for yourself that your
For
body
your
recognizes.
system.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He told me that he's thinking the kind of body you have. You don't understand your body system until
Mm.
something happens or you start doing something. See,
Something
the
else.
kind of body I have is if I don't exercise in a week, my health goes down like this.
Wow.
So that is it is you understanding your body, and you
Your
should.
body.
It is high time we know and have it at the back of our mind that physical activity it
Mm.
increases our lifespan. I know that
Mm.
it is God that gives good health, but sincerely, God says, "I will bless the work of your hands." If
So
you
you
don't
need to
have
do
it,
your own part.
you need to do
Absolutely.
your own. You need to do
Absolutely.
your own. You need to do
Yes.
your own. You need to know how physical activity has, has stopped a lot of people from having heart attack, from
Mm-hmm.
having cardiovascular disease, from for just feeling good. If you
Mm.
know how
Mm.
important it is, you will start exercising. I would just say, just exercise consistently for 1 month. Nobody will convince you.
You're
You
right.
will convince yourself that yes, let
Absolutely.
me so
Absolutely.
let me
You're right.
continue. It is holistic in nature.
Mm.
Physically, you feel good. Mentally, you will
You're
think
sharp.
straight. And when
Yeah.
you exercise, there's something, it's a mood lifter. When you
Mm.
exercise consistently, at first you feel tired, you feel
Mm.
this is too much stress. I don't want to do it. Your legs ache, your back
Yeah.
ache. See,
Yeah.
take
Yeah.
paracetamol, you'll be fine. My father, my mommy, my daddy, take paracetamol, you will be fine. Go back,
Mm.
go
Mm.
back, go back. You will start building, that strength. You start building your
Correct.
system. It's like
Correct.
strength training. You are doing
Yeah.
15 minutes this week. Next week, nobody will tell you. You will know that you can go more.
Mm-hmm.
1 month,
Yeah.
you can go
Yeah.
more, and you don't
Yeah.
feel tired. Even if you
Mm.
feel tired, peradventure you feel tired, you won't feel tired in a bad way.
Yeah.
You'll be like,
Yeah.
wow, I
Correct.
did that. There's always
Yes.
this, yes,
Yes. Yes.
I smashed
Achievement
it.
kind of thing. Yes. You
Yeah, that
crossed it.
achievement kind of thing. Yeah.
Correct.
And
Yeah.
the way she said it, when you have people around you that you have the same goal, you've set goals for
Yes.
yourself. When you
Yes.
talk about it, it's like a healthy competition that, wow, you
Absolutely.
smashed this, I'll do this tomorrow. You
Correct.
give yourself tasks, you challenge
Yes.
yourself. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So good. So you mentioned we've talked so much about nutrition. We've talked about the physical activities. So you mentioned here healthy habits, positive mindset, rest and recovery. I know we talked about sleep as well. As one of
Yeah.
those ways of achieving it. And like you said, when you sleep, your body recovers as well. So I see how that ties to it. But the positive mindset thing, how do you bring that to bear? Because a lot of people, might say, okay, you know what, okay, I'm going to start going to the gym. But like you said, you start today, you go there, you're tired, your body is aching. How do you encourage yourself to say, okay, you know what, let's go again tomorrow?
For me, I would say positive mindsets. The way I want to explain it is, I'm a nutrition scientist, right?
Yeah.
But you know that I still have a fitness coach.
Right.
I still have a health coach that I pay.
Wow. Okay.
I pay her.
Mm.
Why? To keep me in check. Because
Right.
I am a lot of doctors, they smoke.
Yeah.
A lot of doctors, they smoke.
Mm.
Even though they know it is not good, they tell you as a patient, they tell the whole
Mm.
world,
Mm.
smoking
But
is
they
not
do
good,
it.
but
Mm.
they do it. I'm
Mm.
a nutrition scientist. Don't let me deceive you. There are times my body will crave something. I will eat it.
Right.
I eat it and I don't feel bad.
Mm.
Why do I have a health coach? Why do I pay for their services? I have a personal health coach. It's for
Okay.
her to keep me on check.
Correct.
she's someone I go back to. It's like you having a mentor in your life. We all have that
Right.
person that we are
Mm,
still answerable to, someone that keeps us in check,
mm,
someone that is not a medical doctor, somebody that is like an health advocate. That's what I
mm.
have. That will
Okay.
tell me, Tammy, you are going overboard. I know that,
Mm.
okay, probably you are stressed. That's why you've not been exercising. Somebody that serves as a reminder for me
Like an
to let me know.
accountability partner.
Accountability partner, I have her.
Right.
And it's not
Right.
free, because if it's free, I won't listen. I won't obey
Yeah.
her. You
Yeah.
know,
Right.
somebody I pay her when I need her services. I pay her. There was a time I was paying her monthly. It's not every
Mm,
time I go to her monthly, but I know she's there to
mm.
keep me in check. I'm accountable to her. She's able
Right.
to guide me. And she told me too that she has somebody higher than her in her
Right.
field that she's
Right.
accountable to, because we are humans.
Absolutely.
There are days we are not motivated to life.
Absolutely.
It is
Absolutely.
normal. And sometimes positive mindset could be that even though you've been diagnosed with a particular disease, it is not the end of the world. It is for
Absolutely.
you to, and that's when fitness comes in, that, okay, I have been diagnosed with this. Fine, it's not the
Mm,
end of the world. What can I do to improve my health so
mm.
that it won't become like a disease, a burden, a
Right.
disease burden? Like in Australia here, a lot of people have diabetes. Children,
Mm.
they have
Right.
diabetes. Children under 10 years old, 15 years
Mm,
old.
mm.
It's like a normal thing here. Like there's no, it's not a big deal. It's like
Mm.
somebody having cold, somebody coughing. It's like cough
Wow. Okay.
because it's well managed. There's a positive mindset towards it.
Mm,
Then
mm,
who do you surround yourself with? Is it somebody that you tell that, oh, I have this disease, and they'll be like, hey, yeah,
mm.
pele,
Hey,
or they will excuse themselves from you? No, people that will
from
encourage
you.
that you need to do this, you need to do this. They give you the right
Mm,
information here.
mm. Okay, so I like that because it just delves into this. I think this is almost the last or the second to the last page in terms of practical things to do. So I like what you mentioned about professional advice. You as a
Mm,
you know nutritionist still have somebody that you work with.
yeah,
I also have a coach, in my
mm,
gym that tells me, okay, this is what we're doing this time. Is it leg day, chest day, back day, upper arm, lower arm, different things like that. You also mentioned educating yourself, so again, it's good for people to go out there, and this is one of the things we're doing here as well, to provide that information for people to be able to have that education to say, okay, these are the things I can do to stay healthy and fit. And then you said stay motivated and set realistic goals. I like that because again, I've seen a couple of people where, like I mentioned earlier, they can't even do 500 steps yet. They are putting a target of 1,000 steps,
1,000.
10,000 steps. Do you understand? So we need to set it realistically. And like I said, I have a group. I call them a group of steppers. We have a common application, health app that we work, but we also have WhatsApp. So if I see on the app that, oh, I'm dropping to second position, I go on my WhatsApp and start challenging people and say, oh, don't worry, tomorrow I'm doing more than you. I'm going to get my number one
Mm,
spot
mm,
back. So we have that community of people. And I mean, there are testimonies that people tell you that, look, they had some underlying health issues, but because they've joined us and they've done this consistently for 3 months, they feel fine. They go back to the hospital and the doctor says, oh, whatever you're doing, continue because you look fantastic. You feel great. So these are the things that I have practically put in place. And I think that would
yeah,
help as well alongside the things you've listed. So this is fantastic. I don't know if there's any other thing you want to say because I think this is the last slide. If I just check, yeah, absolutely. So if there are other things that you feel we can practically do, we can just do that in another couple of minutes, and then we'll wrap up.
yeah.
I cannot believe we've gone beyond an hour on
I
this.
know. And it's been very interesting. And one thing I
Absolutely
would just like to talk about as well is embracing healthy habits. And
correct.
if
Okay.
you're a smoker, I would encourage you to please stop. If you can't stop outrightly, please reduce it.
Mm.
Alcohol intake should be reduced or even stop taking alcohol.
Right.
What else? As a woman, we all know that we need to go for pap smear tests every three
Yeah.
years, standard.
Right.
Please, between ages 40s to 50s. Women,
Right.
let's do
Yeah.
it. The provision is there. Let's use that opportunity so that if there's
Mm.
anything we detect on time
Yeah.
and we try to like be guided on what to do. It's not when we get to like 60s and we be hearing stories that touches the heart, God forbid.
Mm.
Women are
Mm.
encouraged to do breast check regularly when you wake up in the morning in the bathroom, just check, feel your body,
Yeah. Yeah.
know your body,
Right.
like your
Yeah.
body. Nobody can know your body like you. Stand in
Mm.
front of the mirror, stand naked in the front of the mirror. A lot of
Right.
people they don't know their body.
Mm.
Like my health coach would tell me, Dammy, strip yourself naked in front of the mirror. Look at your body, inspect it. Is there
Yeah.
something? There's something you
Yeah.
notice that shouldn't
Mm.
be there. See, I don't want to be raw. Take the mirror, open up yourself. You know what I
Ye-
mean, and
Yeah.
check.
I.
It's not that
Yeah.
you're being
Absolutely.
stupid. We are at
Mm.
that age. I
Correct.
was speaking to a client like last week. Yeah, last week Friday. An elderly man
Mm.
is a first client. I've never met him before. He told me something. Dammy, don't grow old.
Mm.
Don't grow old. That thing, I laughed, but I just said in my mind that, oh, we'll definitely, everyone will grow old.
Everybody's going.
I
Yeah.
felt, I felt like telling him back, but I'm not allowed to. I felt like telling
Yeah.
him that, what were you doing when you were young?
Mm.
And
Mm.
that's what I'm encouraging every one of us now at this
Mm.
age, before we will all grow old. And
Mm.
at some point, sincerely, that is the truth. At some
Mm.
point, there will be something.
Mm.
But for us to reduce the something, the
Mm.
impact of the something, or for us not to have that something, it is
Mm.
now, now.
Now.
And that is the
Correct.
essence of what we are saying. I know it is not easy. I used to be in that space of, why would I wake up in the morning and be running? Why would I this?
Mm.
But now it is in our hands. It is in my hands. It is in your hands. So I encourage us, please, let's do the needful now. Yeah,
Mm.
thank you.
Wow, fantastic. I need to clap for you, Dammy. Honestly, this is awesome. So if I look at this historically, our first episode when you joined us last season was great, right? The episode we did in February with your husband and my wife, where we had that session, was fantastic.
Yeah.
This you've taken this to another level, Dami, and it is awesome. And I just want to thank you for this. Like I said, I was just looking up at the recording time as we were talking, and I'm like, wow, 1 hour, 1 hour 10 minutes, 1 hour 20 minutes, and we just scratched the surface, because I know if we sit down with you, we can go to the deeper levels. And this is
And
one of the reasons why we appreciate you and thank you for coming again this third time to do this fantastic job. We are grateful, and I just want to say, thank you so much. And I know the sacrifice, because it's
thank
early
you.
hours on your side, it's late nights in Nigeria, but again, you sacrificed to be available. Your energy was up from beginning to the end. I just want to say thank you, Dami, and we know it's a seed that you're planting, and you will see the result of this as well, because the community will be
Amen.
encouraged, and of course God will bless you back, because you're blessing others, and that's awesome for us. So thank you so much, Dami. I don't know if there's anything you want to say to just wrap this up before I talk about the next episodes for Achiever Zone and all of that. Anything you want to say to wrap this up?
Nothing much. Then I just want to say it's only God that gives good health, but we can also
Correct.
improve our health as well. And Shay, thank you so much for always having me on your program. I'm always happy chatting with you, and yeah, it's always just so beautiful. Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much for making the dream come true, because again, I couldn't have done it by myself. I thank you for being always available, for being, you always say yes to us, no matter how inconvenient it might be from your end. And we want to appreciate you for
Mm,
that. We hope that when we call you next time, you will come definitely to talk about this same topic or any other topic we decide on that will help the community. So we're grateful for that.
thank
As we
you.
wrap up, I just want to tell the community that this is episode 5, right, of Achievers Zone. Our aim this year, this season, season 2, is to do this every month. So next month, in the month of June, we'll have another guest who is an expert in their field to come on board and just talk about that topic. And we'll do that every month till December. So enjoy the rest of your day. Look out for the links. We'll upload this to our groups on Facebook and on LinkedIn. And then we'll catch up next month in the month of June with another guest, and we'll have a fantastic session just like you've had today. Thank you so much, Dami. Enjoy the rest of your day because I know your day is starting. We are going to bed now,
Yes,
and then we'll catch up, later. So thanks everyone, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.
thank you.